In February 2022, when Russian tanks, helicopters, and soldiers crossed into Ukraine, EU leaders felt the drums of war at their doorstep, realizing their fragile energy security was at stake. Fast forward to today, amidst the ongoing conflict and sanctions on Russia, the situation has evolved. As of August 21, 2023, the EU achieved its gas storage target well before the deadline. By August 31, 2023, the EU faced a turning point in its gas supply as Russia entered a self-destructive phase. Looking ahead to October 11, 2023, Europe braces for its first cold snap, putting energy systems to the test. Brussels is no longer gripped by the same energy terror. While Europe grapples with higher energy costs impacting various industries, the dire predictions haven't materialized. As of August 18, 2023, positive developments were noted. The EU's gas storage has hit 90%, surpassing expectations. This ensures our safety during the upcoming winter. We're actively reducing dependence on Russian gas and simultaneously exploring diverse energy sources for the future. Earth, love, and certainly, it's premature to claim triumph. Prior to the war, Russian gas made up roughly 40% of the EU's total imports. Since then, its share has rapidly declined. Large-scale imports of liquefied gas, LNG, from the US and certain African partners have stepped in to fill the gap. While this move may have alleviated the immediate gas shortage for the upcoming winter, its long-term sustainability remains uncertain. However, if a substantial gas stockpile is secured by the winter of 2024, the challenges might have only been temporarily delayed. In theory, the EU could boost short-term liquefied natural gas, LNG, inflows by around 60 billion cubic meters compared to the 2021 average. The catch, however, lies in the global scramble for this gas, not just within Europe, but across Asia as well. The natural gas market is currently highly strained, and any unforeseen event could trigger a surge in prices. Europe urgently requires new energy sources and natural resources, but the challenge lies in finding trustworthy partners. The world is increasingly tumultuous, with a red-hot Middle East, Southeast Asia facing threats from China, and conflicts erupting across Africa. While I'm no expert, these regions don't seem like the safest or most reliable options, do they? Hold on a moment. What about Latin America? On May 15, 2023, Venezuela inked a deal with Repsol and others to export gas to Europe. By June 13, 2023, the EU expedited an agreement with Mercosur, pledging increased investments in lithium in Argentina. On June 14, 2023, Chile and the European Union bolstered their collaboration in green hydrogen for sustainable development. Come November 3, 2023, Brazil notched up record oil and gas production in September. Latin America boasts vast oil and gas reserves, along with abundant natural resources. Notably, it's a region where armed conflicts are notably absent. That leads us here to ponder a few questions. Can Latin America be a dependable partner in realizing Brussels' proposed energy transition? Which countries in the Southern Cone could forge a strategic alliance with the EU? Is Latin America a viable contender to replace Russia? Today, we're here to address all these questions. It's like a toxic relationship. Ever heard the saying, "Forewarned is forearmed"? If yes, consider yourself lucky, because everything points to Brussels missing that memo. Over time, the bond between Europe and Russia turned into a toxic dependency. The turning point was in 2014 when Moscow and Kyiv clashed after the Russian annexation of Crimea on March 26, 2014. Even back then, Obama was urging the EU to diversify its energy sources and break free from Russia's grip. By September 1999, 2014 European reliance on Russian gas could be curbed within the context of energy efficiency. On March 17, 2015, concerns about Europe's vulnerability to Russian gas were raised, with varying exposure levels among EU member states. Addressing this became crucial for securing the future of the EU energy union. However, back then, while Brussels was wary of the Kremlin, the distrust wasn't as profound. The prevailing thought was, why would the Russians jeopardize the substantial euros flowing in annually from European countries? Former German Chancellor Angela Merkel captured this sentiment in her statements. At that time, sourcing gas from the grid, including Russia, seemed rational and cost-effective compared to LNG from other parts of the world. Angela Merkel acknowledged the pragmatism of the approach. However, Europe only took the issue of Russia's independence seriously when the Kremlin intervened in Ukraine for the second time. To be fair, since 2014, some European groups have been actively working on contingency plans regarding the significant import of liquefied gas. Some of these pre-established initiatives materialized in the REPowerEU strategy. In May 2020, the EU unveiled nothing short of an official plan to sever ties with Russia and entirely revamp its energy landscape. This plan hinges on three key principles across the continent: prioritizing energy savings, substituting energy sources, and diversifying the origin of fossil fuels. Increased investments in solar and wind power, coupled with a broader embrace of coal and nuclear power, led to a substantial reduction in natural gas consumption during the first 6 months of 2023. The plan seems to be yielding results. However, it comes with a caveat. Achieving this comes at the cost of pricier energy and a colossal logistical challenge that remains precarious. This is precisely where Latin America has now caught the attention of Brussels. From the bubbling black gold of Venezuela to Argentina's Vaca Muerta shale to the astounding oil riches recently uncovered in Brazil, could Latin America genuinely be Europe's savior? Well, that's what we're here to unravel. Let's talk about oil. It's a juggernaut. Replacing Russia as a supplier is no easy feat. Russia boasts approximately 107 billion barrels of crude oil reserves, while Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, Brazil, and Venezuela together surpass that with over 320 billion barrels. However, despite the abundant oil, the performance of these New World producers is, to put it mildly, underwhelming. As you can observe, only Brazil has significantly ramped up its production in recent years. Meanwhile, Venezuela and Mexico, once oil titans at the beginning of the 21st century, have gone from bad to worse. Argentine and Colombian production has remained stagnant. Just to give you a comparison, around 9.6 million barrels per day were produced by these five nations in 2003, according to estimates by the Energy Institute. Fast forward 2 decades, and the total barely reaches 7 million barrels. It's not because they lack crude oil. It's mainly because various governments have struggled to exploit it. What's even more intriguing is that not too long ago, Latin America's oil production surpassed that of Russia. In Venezuela, the Bolivarian Revolution brought an end to the oil dream, not out of social conviction, but primarily due to incompetence. A similar story unfolded in Mexico, where the management of Pemex turned into a disaster. In Colombia, there are efforts to bring the industry to a halt led by Petro. The challenge is that Europe's refining capacity has followed a similar trajectory. No one wants dirty, unsightly refineries close to their homes. In simple terms, the lack of investment means that in the short term, Latin America's capacity to replace Russia as Europe's preferred supplier is restricted. However, if for now, Latin American crude oil doesn't seem to be the ultimate option, what about gas? Let's take a look. Enter the Latin gas solution. It's no secret that Russia dominates the gas sector, boasting over 40 trillion cubic meters of proven reserves, 5 times more than known reserves in Latin America. Despite this, the Latin American gas industry has outperformed its oil counterpart. Moreover, the potential of fracking could work wonders. Of course, we need to analyze each case individually. For instance, in Brazil, natural gas plays a crucial role in industry. However, they still waste gas, burning it unnecessarily due to a lack, particularly, of infrastructure. On the flip side, Mexico stands as one of the best-positioned countries. Its gas sector is highly developed, with a distinctive feature: a strong interdependence with the USA. While Mexico exports natural gas to the U.S., it also imports it to capitalize on lower processing costs in its North American neighbor. This dynamic has fueled the construction and completion of extensive pipeline networks across the country. By October 2020, the Guadalajara gas pipeline network was fully operational. Fast forward to May 3, 2023, and Pacific Limited announces a $14 billion investment in a gas pipeline in Mexico. Then, on October 12, 2023, the United States is set to close the year with record natural gas exports, thanks to Mexico. Regarding Argentina, between 2005 and 2015, the country faced setbacks due to the depletion of conventional wells. Despite possessing Vaca Muerta, one of the potentially largest gas reserves globally, Argentina had to resort to gas imports. Fortunately, the tide is turning. In July 2023, the President Nestor Kirchner gas pipeline was inaugurated, paving the way for gas exports to resume from 2024. On the other hand, Bolivia doesn't seem to be as fortunate. As of September 1, 2023, the Bolivian government acknowledged that their gas reserves would be depleted by 2029, necessitating imports. President Luis Arce revealed that reserves have run dry, leading to the interruption of gas exports to Argentina and Brazil, creating a substantial economic setback for the country. Finally, Venezuela is the only country that has seen a noteworthy uptick in production levels in recent years. However, as with oil, good intentions alone aren't sufficient. Possessing reserves or even achieving significant production levels isn't the entire equation. Suitable infrastructure is equally crucial for exporting gas. In this aspect, Latin American countries significantly trail behind Russia. It's not just pipelines that are required for exporting gas to Europe. Liquefaction plants are also essential. These facilities are crucial for converting gas into a liquid form, allowing it to be transported in large methane tankers. This raises the question: what solution is Brussels considering? Without feasible partners, what can we anticipate from 2025 onward? Is European energy security lost forever? Hydrogen. Could it be the answer within Europe? I can imagine what you might be thinking. Brussels must be banking on renewables to be the ultimate solution, right? We don't blame you. Over the past few decades, optimism about solar and wind energy has been overwhelming. And today, their role is indeed crucial. European renewables capacity has surged by 1,500% in the last 20 years, playing a pivotal role in preventing Europe from going dark during the Russian pipeline blackout. However, despite this, Brussels' latest hope seems to rest on a fuel that is non-fossil: hydrogen. Power generation using hydrogen occurs when hydrogen is introduced on one side and oxygen on the other in a fuel cell. Protons on the hydrogen side split, creating an electric current. The released electrons generate electricity, and on the oxygen side, they combine with protons to form water as the only byproduct. And no, don't worry, it's not that we're trying to be scientists. It's just crucial to understand how electricity is produced with hydrogen to grasp a key reality. It's delocalization. The process isn't tied to any reserves, deposits, or supplies linked to a geographical reality. That, indeed, is where its enormous potential lies. Hydrogen holds the potential to eventually secure Europe's energy self-sufficiency. The crucial factor in this process is the source of hydrogen, which can be obtained in different ways. Gray hydrogen is produced from fossil energy sources like natural gas, oil, or coal, while green hydrogen is generated from renewable energy sources with low or zero pollutant emissions. What sets hydrogen apart from wind or solar energy? Essentially, it's storable. Hydrogen can be stored and used as needed, such as fuel or to generate electricity. For many, this addresses the significant challenge of intermittent and irregular energy supply from conventional renewable sources. Europe could even explore the possibility of exporting this clean fuel. However, this option sparks concerns about efficiency, with experts debating whether it will ever be a truly efficient process. Moreover, it requires the development of suitable infrastructure, a task that would take time and significant investment. Regardless, hydrogen is firmly in Brussels' plans, and there are already numerous investments in the pipeline to develop this promising energy source. In September 2022, Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Greece, Italy, the Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden joined the IPCEI hydrogen project, committing up to 5.2 billion euros in public funding and an additional 7 billion euros in private investment. Furthermore, in March 2023, the EU announced the creation of the European Hydrogen Bank, tasked with mitigating the cost difference between renewable hydrogen and fossil fuels for the continent's first operational projects. The result, as depicted on this map, is that Europe leads the world in the number of hydrogen projects. As of now, it remains uncertain whether hydrogen, liquefied natural gas, or supply from Latin America will ultimately shape Europe's new energy matrix. The possibilities and challenges are on the table, and the only certainty is that Europe is committed to breaking its dependence on Russian oil and gas. This presents a significant opportunity for Latin America to tap into a substantial source of investment and dollars. Whether the region will seize this opportunity is a question that only time will answer. Now, the questions are for you. What role do you think hydrogen will play in Europe's energy security? Do you believe Latin America could seize this opportunity to redirect a substantial flow of dollars and euros? Share your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if you found this video intriguing, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and see you next time.